Hey there, YouTube friends. Masked Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me again today. I always appreciate it. Welcome back to Snow Valley, aka the BroNation Christmas Village. Open this up to all the members of BroNation. So if you are a member of BroNation and you're listening to this and you haven't been on the server in a while, you want to be a part of this project, you have the opportunity. You can make something for this Christmas Village. I opened it up to the server. Mike and I had a chat yesterday, and we've already got 3 or 4 different shops coming in. If you want to be a part of this, check out the chat in BroNation. If you're not a member of BroNation and you want to be a part of this, you want to see one of your shops in this project, go ahead and in the description below, hit that link to the server. And then find the chat, the BroNation Christmas Village chat, and read up on what you need to do and get to work. I'm so excited. I am so excited to show you all the cool things other members of BroNation have been doing, including Mike. Even Mike has come out of his Planet Coaster hibernation to make something for this project. So, while it's still mostly my work, at least for right now, it's mostly going to be my work, and the next few episodes are still going to be just my work. Real soon, you're going to see me plop some structures from other people, and I will be sure. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do some real-time footage where I'll go over each person's entry, and I'll show it off. So I think that's going to be the best way to do that. But yeah, I am ridiculously pumped to show you all the cool things people have been making for this project. It's been so amazing to see BroNation kind of come to life, and so many people just excited about it and wanting to work in Planet Coaster. Haven't had that vibe from Planet Coaster in quite a while. Like, to be frank, the World's Fair Pack didn't inject that excitement like Vintage did, and the Theme Maker's Toolkit didn't really, for a lot of us, inject that excitement. And so it's nice to see that this little thing, Make a Christmas Village, has brought out a lot of people, and I think it's because it's something that only takes a couple hours. You're not forced to spend hours and hours and hours. You just take your time and make one really great structure, and you can do it, and you could be a part of the project. So if that interests you, go ahead and sign up and join BroNation if you haven't, and build something cool for us. There are some guidelines, like you need to stay within the scale. I've actually gone ahead, and in the description below, I'll have a link to my collection of all the buildings I've created, and as I place the ones from other members, I'll plop them in there. I'll add it to the collection, and so by the end of this project, we'll have an entire collection of Christmas Village pieces, which I'm pumped for. So if you want to do this, you'd need to download. I would highly recommend you download that collection and plop some around and make your building fit that. That's what I would do, but hey, what do I know? So anyway, what's going on the screen? Because we've been going for almost 4 minutes, and I haven't said anything about what's going on here. We are building a toy shop. And it came to my attention, because I like to name things after members of BroNation. People I know and have had experience interacting with on a regular basis. Berlin87 is one of those. He's also on YouTube. There's going to be a link to his channel in the description below as well, hopefully, if I remember. And I realized I had not named anything for him yet, and I've known him for quite a while. I felt really bad about that, so I decided that the very first building where I had the opportunity to name something, I was going to name it after him. So this is Berlin's Toy Shop. And it is a direct, it is heavily influenced by the Department 56 building, a toy store from that company. And yeah, so this is one of those heavy pieces. There's going to be about 1,200 pieces to this building. And again, we're doing the whole windows as walls, because the regular walls, we don't have half walls. God, what I wouldn't give. If you're into the Theme Maker's Toolkit, half walls. Make half walls, and you'll be the most popular person on the planet. The first piece of custom scenery that I've downloaded is actually John T's Till. Geekism, John T's cash register or till. And to be fair, the reason I downloaded it is because some of the village pieces that other people have made use it. So something as simple as a cash register is blowing up in the BroNation Discord. So that's the stuff we need, is simple modular things that Frontier hasn't given us. Wall sets, roof pieces, all that stuff is I think where you're gonna find the biggest reception. I think there's a lot of very specific things on the workshop right now as people try to wrap their heads around it. But I think the more generic you can go, the bigger response you're gonna see from people. So one of the biggest, let's jump back into what we're talking about, what's going on screen here. One of the biggest issues with this building was the the lack of a mirror function. I would have loved, like, if Frontier can ever do that, give us a mirror function, that would be incredible. Because basically what I'm building here on the side is the exact same thing on the other side, but it's not going to work to just copy and paste it over there. So I think this roof is really interesting. This circular, semicircle roof. It's kind of a dome, kind of not really. Like, I liked it though. I thought it was really interesting. So I definitely went ahead and tried my best at it with art shapes. Like, I don't think there was anything else I could have used, but the hard part when you're dealing with things that are not on the grid like this is making sure it's symmetrical and even. And to be completely honest, there's some idiosyncrasies. There's some imperfections in the symmetry here. Hopefully by the time the building is complete, you don't really notice that. But to my eye, everything lined up hashtag good enough, hashtag shrug bandit, that it was worth plowing forward. So unfortunately, these buildings, like, they look simple because they're so small. Like, they're 2.5 tiles wide and about 3 tiles high. Like, they're not huge. And I think I might have mentioned this in the first episode. They're not necessarily the easiest to make because they take a lot of trial and error. And that's what I've really found, is these buildings take a long time. This one in particular, I mean, this is a 15-minute video, and I cut out the whole beginning, and I fudged around for a while with that bay window. Originally, I had the bay window on an angle, but the roof was just giving me way too much struggle. So I decided to say forget that, and I just made it straight 90 degrees with the wall. And I think at the end of the day, that's much, much better. So yeah, what I did do in this episode is I actually used a billboard. I don't usually do that. I don't usually use billboards. If I can avoid it, I do. But in this instance, I found a window display of a toy store that I thought would look quite nice. And I went ahead and I did that. So, oh, that means I'm going to have to include it. And I don't. I'll have to have it in the collection where you can download the picture I used. So if you want it to show up, you can do that. So, yeah, the collection is already started. I was going to hold off until the project was done, but I thought, why do that? Give it to the people now. So I'm giving it to you guys now. You can start using these 2 buildings, plus ones you haven't seen yet, unless you watch the live stream, plus some others that are included from other members. And if you do download the buildings from the collection, I encourage you to make sure you come back and watch the episodes where we go over the buildings. I could talk about why I enjoy them and what's so, well, you can tell, but what I think is so great about them. And we'll try and fit them in. What I think I'm going to end up doing is, like, while I'm situating them in position here at the end of each episode, I think at the end of the day, I'm going to rip them all out. We're going to do a final arrangement at the end of the day once we know how many pieces we got and what we got, and we'll try and create an entire scene. And what I'm thinking of doing is actually having all the buildings face the same direction, like you would do in a real Christmas village. And some of you have made some great comments, and one person in particular, and apologies, I can't remember who it was, suggested using books and stuff like that to stack the things on top of. That's a really good idea. I'm still on the fence And I replied to this person and said exactly this. I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I want to make this an absolutely true, like this is a Christmas village where it looks like it's on a table, or if I want to be heavily inspired by Christmas village pieces and yet still have peeps walking around. I kind of like the idea of the movement of the peeps in the scenes when it comes to cinematics. So I think I would eventually like to get peeps in here, as well as a few fairground rides, just to add some dynamic movement to these scenes. So I think that's what I might end up doing. So maybe the books and stuff wouldn't work quite as well. Some other things you guys have suggested that I really like. I like the idea of sledding hills. So you can hopefully expect to see sledding hills. You can hopefully expect to see a skating rink. You can also expect to hopefully see a bobsled coaster or a wild mouse coaster that looks like a bobsled, where we use terrain. The issue with all of those is that they require terrain to look right. And so if you're excited for that part of this project, you're going to have to wait a while, because I'm going to let the people at BroNation who are building stuff, I'm going to let them get their stuff in. And so the rides and the terrain stuff probably won't come till near the end of the project. So hopefully you enjoy watching me build structures like this, because it's pretty much what you're going to be able to experience for a while. So, and if you're not into that, I do apologize, but for me, this is always a passion of mine, what I've realized is trying to get the scale as tight as possible in Planet Coaster, because it really is it's really a challenge, because everything is designed against the style of building. So someone in the comments also commented on, why do I feel like, do you have to do custom roofs? Couldn't you just use the in-game roof pieces? I could, but then the scale would just be completely destroyed, because I'm not working with 4 meters. I'm really working with 2.5 to 3 meter scale here in general with the pieces as they are. And so that means that most roofs will have to be custom. In the future episodes, I'm probably going to cut a lot of that out, because it's not exciting to watch me place custom roofs. So that might mean a few minutes shorter episodes, like in the building I was building today. Tons of custom roofs. I didn't even record it because it was lame. So don't worry if you're like, oh no, I don't want to watch 7 episodes of custom roofs. You won't. Don't worry. So here we are. We're trying to place the building that makes sense to the church. This little fountain came together real nice. It's kind of a nice focal point. So what we're going to end up doing as we add some more buildings here, for now, we're going to have this little plaza area that's quite cute. Decided to add some simple decoration to the window there to kind of make it feel a little more Christmassy. I was actually surprised at how few decorations were on some of these ceramic buildings that I was looking at. Some of them are really decorated, others not so much. Just a simple fact that they are out at Christmas time, I guess, makes them a Christmas thing. And one thing I do love from Frontier is I adore these little snowman figurines they made. They are fantastic. I especially like the melted snowman. I think that's great. We'll have to put him somewhere. These bushes, someone mentioned on BroNation that they are way too green. They look way too alive, and I agree. So what I'll probably end up doing is, actually, Mike, he made a structure for our village, and you'll see it in a few episodes. He made some really cool snow-covered bushes, so I'm going to steal his technique and spread it throughout. So, and that is just about the end of this episode. We do a little bit of lighting, and that is that. So I hope you enjoyed, and as always, if you did enjoy and you want to help me out on the channel, please hit the like button. It does help, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see all of you for the next episode of Snow Valley / the BroNation Christmas Village. Have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see you real soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.